In the mid-1930s, Britain was emerging from the Great Depression, a worldwide economic crisis that had declined the industrial base of the largest areas of the country, leaving millions unemployed. The East End of London had always been heavily dependent on the docks and traditional industries for its prosperity, and these have been affected by the Depression. This area population discontent was expressed in massive demonstration which became known as the Hunger Marches. Thousands of marches, hundreds of miles to London to lobby Parliament. On the European continent, both Germany and Italy were ruled by fascist regimes. This appealed to the populist instinct, invoking fear and wiping out prejudice. They were totalitarian, they claimed to represent the master race, and in Germany theories of racial purity went hand in hand with anti-Semitism. In Spain, civil war had broken out in the summer 1936 between the Republican and the government of the fascist rebel. In Britain, Sir Oswald Mosley, after trying his hand in both the Labour and the Tory parties, had set up his own version of the European fascist parties in a bid to seize the power. The British Union fascists hoped to emulate the success of its continental counterparts and was ruthless in its anti-Semitism. On Sunday, October 4, 1936, Mosley planned to march British Union fascist contingents to a state in East London, the area with the largest Jewish population in the country. It was seen as an act of calculated anti-Semitic provocation, but first, the more conservative elements of the Jewish establishment, the British Labour movement, urged to the supporters to ignore the march. Local activists, especially some members of the Communist Party, argued passionately that to ignore the march was to surrender to Mosley and to fascism. One of the most spectacular mass mobilizations of the modern British political history. Half a million anti-fascist protesters took the streets around Gardiner Corner at Aldgate, the way to the East End. The only route into the East End not completely blocked by anti-fascists was along Cable Street, and this became the flashpoint. Barricades were erected and defended. The police repeatedly charged the blockade in an attempt to clear the way for Muslims, but defenders were still numerous and determined. The eventual abandonment of the march was celebrated as a great victory for anti-fascists. It became known as the Battle of Cable Street. The Battle of Cable Street, but still relevant nowadays, the Battle of Cable Street. The landscape of Battle Street, still relevant for the political and cultural environment. Welcome to the mural of Cable Street. In 1976, the Tower Hamlet Arts Project selected a proposal mural of the battle to be painted on the west wall of St. George Town Hall in Cable Street. Dave Binnington and Desmond Rochford of the Public Arts Workshop were chosen to carry out the work. In their work, the most important feature is what it does identifies its participants, showing the red flag, enjoying the collectively, savoring in a particular way the solidarity of the occasion. Solidarity, of course, was always a key word in the lexicon. Now we gonna interview Leanne Groves. She's from the United Union, and also she is the head of the Unite Community membership. So we can ask her about how the community nowadays in Cable Street.
Part of London. So this is no longer an area for Jewish people. 20-30 years ago we had lots of people from Kurdistan, from Turkey, and now the majority of the immigrant population here are from Bangladesh, Bengali.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very ethnically mixed part of London.
Mm-hmm.
And what's significant today is that we are still under attack from the far right. The fascists, the British National Party, the English Defence League, they are continuing to cause trouble for the immigrant communities here. So this just represents class solidarity against the right, and what we say is that immigrants are welcome in this city and they're welcome in London, and we won't bow down to fascism.
Okay. In regard to the landscape, to the area, that attract any tourists from other parts of the world, like from Spain?
It's actually there's a guide called in London. There's this thing called the Blue Plaques, and they're on historic buildings. So, for example, if Oscar Wilde or Karl Marx or I don't know, famous people lived in a building, there's a blue plaque, and they have tour guides around London, and this is part of that guide. And there's also local history groups will come here to look at the mural. So it has a lot of significance for the community. I work for a trade union, and we have our office in this building, and as a trade unionist I am so proud that my building has this amazing mural on the side.
Yeah.
Fantastic. There was a strike over there in the 1986 against the print workers, the Battle of Wapping, and that was over there. The dockyards are over there, and the dockers have been, organising trade unions. So this part of the world is a lot of trade union history. So we're delighted that we are here. So
now we can identify the extent to which it has developed into a site of cultural pilgrimage and tourism, and why this has occurred. So this is Cable Street, the mural, and we're gonna walk up to the end of the Cable Street road. There is a studio. It's a big, huge building, historical building, and we're gonna have a look there. So along the way, we're gonna analyze that and bring into account different features from tourism and also from the social aspect. And the Cable Street, so we have the Cable Street. The name of Cable Street, is because that started as a straight path along in which hemp rope were twisted into a ship cable for anchor, and this supplied many ships that will anchor in the nearly pools of London. between London Bridge and Woburn. So that is the real name of the Cable Street. They made anchor there. So now we're gonna start the analysis, covering social, economic, and historical aspect. This is the analysis of Cable Street. As we can see, there's no remainings from 1936. Basically, it's under construction, and obviously we got next to the Cable Street the Docklands and the City of London. So it's the new renovations there, and it's changing. And we can see the buildings there from 1960 or 70s, but this is the physical landscape. So let's have a look, how idyllic, is the landscape, of in the sense of social construction. So we saw, Cable Street with attributes of activities in the population. So social aspect, of Cable Street, is how the place put all the different backgrounds of Bangladesh, Jewish, Pakistan, Turkey, in the same line, which is anti-fascism. This is a very idyllic place. So in the last 30 years, the community background was Pakistani and the Turkish, and the majority actually is the Bangladesh. So the economy in Cable Street, we can see the landscape, which represent working class people and some features of middle class. But what is important here, as I mentioned, on the right we got the City of London. On the left we got the Docklands. So basically, these industrial financial areas are taking over on Cable Street landscape, and we have seen, some of the construction sites and some regeneration, because there is no longer an industrial the classical industrial, right? Actually, is the financial industry around Cable Street that changing a lot, the landscape, right? The construction, and also, the front of the building. So there's the regeneration, of the landscape. And of course, the community of Cable Street, they will preserve the mural, and even that is interesting because the landscape is changing, but the collection of memories and feelings from 1936 is still there. So we are in 79 years over in 2015, but the collection of memories and the collection of feelings is still there. And also the collection of feelings and emotion and political views, apart from the mural, is represented in different form, media form. So let's have a look to that. So in this part of the documentary, we're gonna highlight the socio-economic and cultural consequences to the landscape. So how important, is the Battle of Cable Street in literature, television, and theatre. So the Battle of Cable Street has provided an inspiration for us, for artists of all types. So Arnold Western, for instance, Emeka Theatre, so they play chicken soup with barley in the Royal Court Theatre. So the No Pasarán by David Waldman, it brought together the incident in the East London. Well, this is all in theatre. So in literature we got the Battle of Cable Street by Simon Blanfield. So performing at the Edinburgh Festival in 1987, the Battle of Cable Street and No Pasarán. This is into also, you know, the Jewish cultural literature, and there is much more. So there is the Battle of Cable Street by Trump poet. You know, it's a poem about the Cable Street, and also on the TV, the Battle of Cable Street was featured as an episode of the BBC 2 television documentary Yesterday's Witness. So here we are. This is Cable Street Studios. So this is an inspiration place for artists. Alright, in the background, you know, we got the British folk punk, the men they couldn't hang. He wrote and recorded a song about the event called the Ghost of Cable Street, which this song will be at the end of this documentary. So, but on the other hand, you know, the British singer Billy Brooke, so he made references to the bottle, and also here is the British anarcho-punk Oi Polloi. He wrote and recorded the Let the Boats Do the Talking with a refrain that references to the bottle. And also there's a film, the fictional fascist organization depicted in the film The Wall. So that is based on the famous album of the same name by Pink Floyd. They marched through the British street while threatening and assaulted innocent residents in the way of highlighting anti-Semitism of Mosley group from the Black Street. Cable Street is a heritage, English heritage site. So that's the reason, you know, include the blue plaque for the tour guide. Also the site tours in the TripAdvisor, in the DMO, visit London and visit England is included as well. And in the different travel guide like Go Britannia and Visit London. So in conclusion, the landscape of Cable Street attracts anti-fascists with political views, attract artists because it's an inspiration for their songs and for their different arts. And also, you know, the landscape is changing, but at the same time they stimulate the landscape in the different forms mentioned, you know, like in theatre, literature, and at the different media format. So all of that is a powerful tool to attract tourism there. That makes a contested place a tourist destination, attracting tourists from different parts of the world because because it's English heritage, because the artists, because the political view, and of course, you know, is a very interesting place to visit. Thank you very much for watching this video, and also I will leave a song, The Man They Couldn't Hang, Ghost of the Cable Street in 86. Thank you very much, and thank you.
England 1936, the grip of the Sabbath day. In London town, the only sound is a whisper in an alleyway. Men put on their gloves and boots, have a smoke before they go. From the west there is a warning of a wind about to blow. Like Caesar marching to the east, as is Mosley with his men, dressed in the clothes of deepest black, like a gathering hurricane. This is the British Union with its flag of black and red, a flag that casts a shadow in Berlin and in Madrid. Listen to the sound of marching feet and the voices of the ghosts of Cable Street. Precious stones and battles and the gun. With courage we shall beat those black shirts down. So mile by mile they come on down to a place called Cable Street. Another men are waiting there, preparations are complete. Mosley comes so close they now can see his outstretched arm. A hand raised up that way never took the future in his palm. Listen to the sound of marching feet and the voices of the ghosts of Cable Street. Precious stones and battles and the gun. With courage we shall beat those black shirts down. The battle broke as the first sound of battles fell. Through the barricades, past the sound of a wounded yell. Jack Spot crept through with a chair leg made of lead. Brought down a crushing blow on Mosley said, we learn from history, generations have to fight. And those who crave for mastery must be phased down on sight. And if that means by words, by fists, by stones or by the gun, remember those who stood up for their daughters and their sons. Listen to the sound of marching feet and the voices of the ghosts of Cable Street. Fists, stones, battles and the gun. With courage we shall beat those black shirts. Listen to the sound of marching feet and the voices of the ghosts of Cable Street. Fists, stones, battles and the gun. With courage we shall beat those black shirts down.